Now turn up.
What is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads? That is upside down. We're giving away a Jerry Jeudy signed free jersey. We are almost to 1,000, and if you're new to the channel, when we hit 1,000, we're gonna be giving that away to one of you subscribers. All you have to do is subscribe. It's pretty easy. You just click the button. All right, so we're doing a video, and so when I say most underrated rookie or most underrated rookie in drafts right now, I'm going based off of ADP. ADP is ever changing, but I'm trying to find the most recent and updated ADP. And so trying to combine a couple different websites together, a couple different, I guess, algorithms together, we come up with the low-hanging fruit and then the player that's a little bit deeper. So I'm going to start off with the kind of the cheat. The cheat because he's already a top 5 pick, and in some cases, he's a top 3 pick, and he is my 102. It is Javonte Williams. And again, I will go through a second guy that's deeper, but Javonte Williams right now, his ADP is 105. Like, I don't understand that right now. I really don't. I think Javonte Williams easily could be argued for 101, and we have Najee Harris at 101, and then there's this big gap between all the way to Javonte to 105. It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. In fact, I have a second pick, and I'm going to be easily taking Javonte Williams. At least that's my plan as of now, unless if something happens in the preseason, which we'll get to in tomorrow's video. But Javonte Williams, 102, like that is... you're looking at a guy that looks very similar to Nick Chubb. And I think Nick Chubb was underrated mostly because of injuries, but at Georgia, he started slipping down the rookie boards. He really did. I mean, you saw Sony Michel, we saw even like Darius Geis, like we had these guys that were moving ahead of him. It was more because we just had, there wasn't even questions about Nick Chubb. It was just, he seems like a non-versatile passing threat, which is not true because Nick Chubb can catch. I think Javonte Williams is better at catching, but Javonte Williams doesn't have the explosive abilities of a Travis Etienne. He doesn't have the 6'2", 220-pound frame of a Najee Harris. He's 5'11", 220 pounds. He's a typical NFL running back that is going to succeed. He is good at receiving. He's not amazing at receiving. He is excellent at before or after contact, vision, those types of things. But he's not, you're not going to get a 4.3 speed out of him. You're getting 4.5, 4.55, somewhere around that type of speed, which again is not sometimes super attracting to players, or to people that are drafting. He was a second round pick by Denver, who already had Melvin Gordon. And I could easily see this being kind of a Kansas City of, I don't know, a couple of years ago where they had Kareem Hunt. And everyone was like, well, Spencer Ware's still there. Well, I think Melvin Gordon's going to be there, but it's going to be very, very quickly, 6 to 8 weeks, and you're going to see the Javonte Williams show. I'm telling you, this is Nick Chubb 2.0, and I would rather have Nick Chubb versus even like a Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, who might be the next Mike Evans or somewhere along those lines. Would you rather have like the Mike Evans career or a Nick Chubb career? I think Nick Chubb in fantasy is going to be more valuable because those running backs are just the value-based drafting, your replacement, your value-based replacement. What are you getting a replacement for? It's so much different with running backs than wide receivers, which leads me to like, why is Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts? I can understand maybe Kyle Pitts in certain situations, but as a general consensus, 105. So that's 3 spots. And so most of the guys are either 1 or 2 spots difference from my rankings versus somebody else. And then sometimes there's a tier break. So at 107 to 108, it might seem like a small gap, but there actually might be a bigger gap with just a tier break. A la like a Waddle and Bateman. I think there's a gap. There's a kind of a gap, but maybe in ADP it doesn't show as much of a gap. All right, now to the actual guy that you're probably wondering, like, okay, I can't get Javonte Williams. I don't have a top 5 pick, but I do have a second round pick. And right now being drafted at the end of the second, so 212, sometimes 3-1 in a lot of different ADP kind of sources. So you're looking at 24, 25, and he is 16, 17, right around that range in my rankings. It is Amari Rodgers. And the reason for it is a couple different things. He's a 3rd round pick, so he kind of fits that draft capital profile. He is on a wonderful offense. Rodgers is going to be back for 2021. 2022 and beyond, we don't know, but Devontae Adams might not be there. And even if Devontae Adams is there, I think Amari Rodgers could be a really good 2nd round type of wide receiver. We're looking at a Randall Cobb, and I understand Randall Cobb has now become a Green Bay Packer. But that doesn't really change my mind because I think Cobb is getting towards the end of his career. And if anything, you're going to have Packers literally put the most draft capital in Amari Rodgers versus so many other wide receivers. And we always have like these MVS and Lazard, and we have all these different kind of hopes and dreams. And so a lot of times these undrafted or way late picks, and now we actually have a Green Bay wide receiver that they've invested into. And so that is why I have him in the middle of the second round versus late second round. And that's kind of the biggest gap. I mean, most are 1-2 players, or there's some people that I think are really overrated, like Tutu Atwell, Dwayne Eskridge, who's 24. I think he's going to be 25 coming up here soon. He kind of reminds me of, it's players like that I have to go Amari Rodgers. I think he's a very big threat into that kind of tier of like, we have, I don't have my notes on me, Terrace Marshall's in there, Amon-Ra St. Brown's in there, like that kind of tier through there. I think those guys are right around each other in middle of the second round. So why is Amari Rodgers being kind of undervalued? I think the biggest thing right now is his kind of combine. He doesn't have an amazing attributes. Nothing pops off the tape really a lot for him, but he's a really good just slot wide receiver. Something that Green Bay really doesn't have. He's not going to blow you away with speed. He's like a 4.5 guy. But the biggest example of this is where you look at athleticism and you look at numbers just strictly on what he looks like. Like if you just took away the name and you look at just the stat, like not even the stats, the analytics of speed, agility, all that stuff, and you go, this guy's he's like just a vanilla player. But if you actually watch tape on him, he looks much better than that because you actually see some of the separation he can get, how well he works in the slot, which is a good thing. Like you need that because like T. Higgins was on the outside and now you have him on the inside. Like that happened. And so you saw a guy that had over 1,000 yards, a guy that, again, drafted in the third round for a reason. And I've even had some people tell me, oh, he's like Lynn Bowden Jr. I thought Lynn Bowden Jr. was like Lynn Bowden Jr. was like a jackal of kind of all these different positions, and just he was running back, was he a wide receiver? What was he? Amari Rodgers, we know he's a really good slot receiver. His upside could be like a Victor Cruz. I think that's pretty high up there for an upside because Victor Cruz, again, not somebody that you would go, wow, he's amazing on like just analytics wise, or not even analytics, the numbers wise, his speed, agility, and stuff. But then you go, wow, Victor Cruz knows how to play. And I think even the same with like Adam Thielen. Oh wow, he's really not a like overall fast guy. He's not really like, there's nothing that blows off the tape or blows off the numbers. Then you look at the tape and you go, wow, this guy works well as a wide receiver in the NFL level. And so last kind of 30-second kind of thing I want to talk about is there's a difference, a huge difference between just pure athleticism, pure wow, these numbers look great, versus actually being able to perform at the next level. There's people that are talking about Anthony Schwartz, and there's all, and people hate me about Anthony Schwartz because I do not like him as a wide receiver at the next level. There are plenty of wide receivers that, there's a guy from Germany, I think, that came to the Vikings. He was 6'4", 220, ran a 4.29 40 apparently in Germany or whatever it was, and he couldn't play NFL football. Just because you are an amazing athlete or amazing, Brock Lesnar, again, was a Viking for like a short period of time. Just because you're an amazing athlete and have great combine numbers does not mean that you are a good NFL player. And I think sometimes that we undervalue these really good NFL players. And yeah, could Amari Rodgers be somebody like Hunter Renfrow, which ends up being somebody that's like, but he was good for, potentially decent for the first year. And maybe you flip him on after the first year. You pass on him, you trade him, you package him for something else for the 2022 class or 2023 class. Yes, that's a potential possibility. But I think he is being the biggest underrated right now. So tomorrow we're doing preseason stuff. Preseason stuff. All right. So again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Peace out. See you tomorrow.